the short version is...
I actually have to go this way.
Each contract is individual. So, whatever DeSanta negotiated, I'm not going to be able to be privy to. And if he negotiated that he was the only one allowed to pay it, then that's the way it's going to have to be.
Well,
Did, however, get a copy of their catalog. Perhaps there's something buried in there that you might be able to use.
I can take a look, I suppose, although at this point I might as well just send what I'm sending and see what happens.
Enough to keep the cloth there for now.
Yes.
Soon enough, we're going to actually have to wrap her torso and her chest. But for now, keeping them open and exposed.
Hopefully they don't. If it was Orin,
blood and
just seemed like
we
a
can make sure
proper enough
any large shots.
question to ask for someone who's looking for a little bodyguarding against fishmen.
Instead, we uphold principles of integrity, fairness, and respect. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Well,
we do not engage in underhanded tactics such as betrayal, okay, sure. Sorry.
Yes.
I hate hypocrisy.
Well, yes, just because they say one thing doesn't mean they won't do other things. But Kanas was asking for my assistance. Well, you mull that over. I'll see what she needs.
Assassination. Typical services include assassinations.
Do they have any other clean bandages here? I don't exactly carry an ample supply.
I have a few that I've picked up, if you need them.
Yes, please.
There you are.
All right, then. What I would... Well, so do you know how to get to Carcosa?
Yes.
If you would go to Carcosa and... Ma was awake earlier, but Ma or Carrion... They can enter my room in my smoking set. There will be another bottle. It's going to look like black chocolate powder. I need that second bottle.
I'm going to say that I've reviewed your catalog and see nothing about requiring the payment to come directly only from specific people.
Yes. Thank you. I'm going to have to make more. This is unfortunate.
Well, I will tell them. I will tell them that I have reviewed their catalog and there's nothing in it that indicates that payment must only come from directly from certain individuals. If they have,
however,
no.
I asked Orin himself, and he did say that that can be negotiated in a contract. If someone wanted to only have them be privy, wanted to have them be the only person to pay, that may be the case here. But I do need to run off to Carcosa. I'll be back shortly.
Sleek. Level 15. I will send Sleek. I know. No, we did them PvPing with them would be the worst thing. We would just die. It just seems like they have a juicy contract that they could use that they want to take up against us, which is why they would be keen on finding a reason to drop this one. That is what it sounds like.
Alright then. Now we just need to keep an eye on the bleeding. Once I get a bit more of the charcoal mixture, we will be able to apply it to her lower half and then, provided the shards have, well, most of them, if not all of them, have reached the surface. I'm going to keep a little pressure on this one. Are the cloths where you're holding, are they any wetter than when we swap places?
I wonder what happens if I send this bird out of my room. I'm gonna test that.
It seems to be bleeding a little bit.
Like, how much EXP does she get?
Okay. We're going to have to keep pressure on that one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna start playing with things, because that's what I do.
It doesn't have horses?
Horses! Horses! Look at all the horses!
Merry Christmas, Bionic! Thank you for the 32 months. It's crazy. Awkward. Bird is still on shoulder. How does that work? Bird now stuck on shoulder. How long it'll take. I wonder if it'll ever arrive, because... Yeah, this is weird. I should have taken him off my shoulder when I put him in the cage, but I kind of assumed he would just go. They're glitchy like that? Likely we'll have to relog for it to register. Well, you know what? I'm seeing invisible rocks and trees, so maybe I'll... I think you may have hot mic'd that. Whoop. I might have. They can all deal with it. It's bad because hitting my push to talk is the only way to get back into the game without either having to click on it in the hotbar. It's the only way to get back in the game without punching things, really. If you click, you punch things.
I wasn't expecting to have to, well, do acrobatics to get there, but...
Well,
hopefully
you are welcome.
Yes, I didn't hopefully spill anything.
I'm sure you are fine, thank you. That is why it is not already mixed. That, and once you mix it, it can undo the effervescence that that I actually need it for.
Of course.
Thank you, Sock. Do you still have more of that water, Renata?
I'm afraid it's empty.
All right.
I have some more on me.
Excellent. If I could have that as well. Thank you.
Yes. Am I going to have to play courier again, or do I have the time to speak with Io?
That is all I needed, unless something dramatic happens. There's not much else in my smoking kit that will help Granny at the moment.
Of course.
Well, I've sent my response to them. It's really all I can do.
Yes, Orin did also seem somewhat distracted. So,
Well, my concern is with them writing something in that way. Is it sounds to me as if they are looking for an excuse to drop Xander's contract, fearing it won't be long term. It likely means that they have something juicy out against us, something that really is worth a lot to them. And they can't accept it while they're still doing business with Xander. That is my fear.
That does sound very within the letter rather than the spirit of their contracts. Or perhaps it is within the spirit and the letter.
I mean, just think about it from a business perspective. If you have a contract with one person for an amount of money, and you have someone else who wants a contract against that person for double, why wouldn't you look for a reason to end that first person's contract so you can take up the other? That way you don't act against the people you were contracting with, technically.
Yes, well, if it's not a first come, first serve, perhaps someone, a third party, could offer one of those no compete contracts to them, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me look at it again.
No contest on page 6.
Oh, you remember the page. Oh,
Well, I grabbed 2 copies of it.
I see. For individuals or organizations wishing to ensure the benefit of the owl will not accept contracts against them, we offer no contest contracts. By paying a weekly fee, we guarantee that we will not accept or execute any contracts that harm, hinder, or otherwise interfere with the client's interests. If the band unknowingly takes action that harms a no-contest client, the band will make every reasonable effort to rectify the situation but is not held responsible for damages incurred. The band will never intentionally harm a client under the no-contest agreement. In case of disputes between clients with conflicting contracts, the band will not be able to take action. It doesn't say how much they charge for such.
Yeah, well, it does say at the bottom the base fee for something like that is 20,000.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I see it now. I didn't realize the page was extended. Had to fold this bit down.
Yes, it's a slightly inconvenient way of
yes.
Well, writing things, but at the same time, it does also make it easier to, I suppose, mark a page.
Well, depending on their response, I could offer to set up one of those with them, perhaps. I have enough money to pay them up front. Should not be an issue.
Well, I guess contract negotiation does technically cover the additional stipulations that someone might want to include in a contract, including the only I can pay for it or only certain people can pay for it. It's
yes,
not
well,
spelled out, but it is.
I don't know. I just assumed that that would be in writing somewhere. It's... I don't know.
That is the unfortunate problem with contracts. You can, and catalogs, you can word them as specifically or as vaguely as needed, and unless you have someone actually, I suppose, translating it for you, you'll just have to go with what you believe. When it comes to contracts, always be as specific as you feel you might need to.
Yes.
It does remind me I need to relieve someone of a contract that I made with them. And follow through with another one.
It's a messy business. Yes?
Yes, well, if there weren't any messes, we would have no need for anyone to clean them up.
I think I would prefer that. I need to take a moment to myself. Just gonna sit down.
I'll go and see, keep an eye on how things are proceeding. Also, Carrion and Ma did mention that they were on the way. They had a few things to wrap up, but...
Very well.
Well,
That's good.
Why?
There's still somebody that I called him out for his paw prints. I know.
Herbs and medicines a little bit.
He just said nothing.
I wanted to take a look at a little plant sample that I found up above.
Right. Well, I believe we're all going to head up there once they are done down there, so...
Yes, I think we should. Someone's been higher up in the workshop than even I have been.
I believe Lady Io was attempting to show us something once we all came back up.
Yes. I'm just waiting for Sark.
Has everything been fine otherwise?
I mean, we haven't been attacked by fish people yet today.
So they're holding true to what they said they would.
On the other hand, we have the owl demanding payment from Xander and Xander only for services rendered in terms of contracts.
Are they aware that he's not available?
I think that is exactly what they're aware of.
So they're just being
My suspicion
foul.
is that they are looking for an excuse to void his contract so they can take up another, likely against us. It is the only thing that makes sense.
And why against you? Sorry, Carrion, go ahead.
Well, if others have a contract offered against us and it is worth more than Xander's contract, then it's just business, isn't it?
All right, Zoc. We should get her out of the water. No point in having her in here too long.
Of course. I'll need to come back here and pick up.
Do you have any idea who would go against you?
Can't have
No, but it could be anyone at this point. Those fishermen are running around making demands. You yourself said that you were tempted to give in.
All right. We can either...
I actually was coming here to talk about that.
Could be as simple as that.
Yes, it was a lapse of judgment. Carrion shook me out of that. I believe a proper plan would have been placed to make sure that you all would not have come to harm, but I was drawing blank on any ideas.
You said something about talking to us about their demands?
Yesterday night, after I went back home, I was visited by the fish people, and they told me their demands as well, and I got the occasion to ask them a few questions about it, and they do not necessarily require a sacrifice, but just a little bit of blood. So at least there's that.
That's not... It doesn't... Renata, do you not understand?
I do.
It's not just a little bit of blood. Blood given is a very dangerous thing.
But I'm not just going to stand there while somebody I care about is going to get hurt and I have the occasion to do something about it.
Renata.
Yes.
They want blood so they can control people. That could be sacrificing 3 lives for one. We don't know what their intentions are.
Well,
there are worse things than death.
I know, but when I asked them, I said that I'm sorry, but I said I'd do it, but they want all 3 people, not just one.
Are you one of the individuals? Did they clarify for you?
They did not oppose when I said that I would volunteer. They asked for what they said, and I quote, is one of love, one of lust, and one of loyalty. Blood giving willingly. And I think I may be the one of love, possibly. I cannot speak for Xander, but I think I've made my feelings for him pretty clear.
I do not think that...
In this case, you are safe. And the fish people were very specific on who they asked for when they came to us at Carcosa.
Hey, Aoife.
They are looking for 3 individuals, and I do not believe you are one of them.
I don't know how to pronounce that, so I won't try.
I know you're not one of them. But what you did say does pique my curiosity. And they were potentially okay with your blood.
As I said, they did not oppose. They just told me that they won't accept just me. They want all three. They did not specify who the other two are.
Blood is better in that case.
I wonder if we can do a trick, I suppose.
Would caution
Swap blood and
against
say it's
this.
someone else's.
I figured no legs Shona.
I could think of a few.
It's Merry Christmas in
individuals.
Irish.
Yeah, I would expect.
I figured it was
want to
something like
extract
that.
the blood themselves.
And they said that they would be okay if we extracted it.
Oh,
But I believe that's because they know of Carrion and mine's professions. That might have been why. I'm not sure what everyone else was told or offered or what needed to be done exactly. But they came to us with specific details.
This line of thought is not wise. Saying you would give yourself to them, not wise.
I do not think she understands the implications.
I do understand. I know that blood's her name is powerful.
There's also no guarantee that it secures anything.
I know, but I cannot just.
So
stand
you
there
throw
and
away
do
4
nothing.
lives.
I have to, I don't know, somewhere believe that they will respect their part of the contract or whatever this is they want to do.
No, you do not have to believe that. And it is insane to do so.
She seeks not to throw away 4, just her own. We advise against that. We understand it is a matter of the heart. Deep ones cannot be trusted, not these. They
Yes.
do not to deals like we do.
I understand your intentions. You cannot simply sit idle and let your friend, or someone you know rather, be devoured. But everyone else here makes a great point. If you give up your blood, you're just throwing away a resource for other people to utilize, in a sense, to get your friend back. They're not going to honor it. They're just going to take it in addition.
So you all want just to stand there and do nothing?
That is not what we said either. We are
Right.
trying to come up with something, but we are lacking one key figure here. They are currently absent, and that is causing problems and delays in the plans. They have all the knowledge that we need, and yet they are nowhere to be found. I believe he needs a stern talking to once he shows his face again.
I do not know what's going on. I've searched around. I just don't know.
Do you think the fish people could have them?
I have no idea.
From what we can tell, it doesn't look like
There should have
there's a
been
sign
some
of
evidence.
struggle.
Yes, there should have been evidence of some sort of struggle if that is the case.
I see. Well, I want to help. I don't want to just stand there looking at people doing stuff while I'm freaking useless.
Well, that's how it has to be, unfortunately. We can't go throwing
Not
lives away.
necessarily. You don't have to feel useless. Let's brainstorm. If Savula is absent and we cannot come up with something without him, then what good are we all? Maybe we should all come together and come up with another plan, potentially.
We know Xander is in the sea. It is too broad. Zavul said he knew of the location. He had to have found out somehow.
Where is Fi? Have we seen them lately?
I never know where Fi is. They just show up every once in a while.
It's problematic.